Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. In this episode, I'll be talking about the final project episode, that's the word I'm looking for, that came out on Boxing Day, the 26th of December 2024. And as I showed you the trailer for it at the end of yesterday's episode, that is the Outnumbered 2024 Christmas special. Now, a little bit of news. It's now over a month in the gap between recording and release, because I'm recording this on the 30th of December 2024, still 2024, but it is the 2nd, if my maths has worked out, it's the 2nd of February 2025. That is insane. I don't think I've ever gotten that big of a gap before, but still uni, so I want to record, so I want to record as much as I can, especially as I head towards going back to uni, and then even after that when I've got even less time. So how it goes is it kind of loads of time, less, week off, even less, as much night, so it's one of those. But back to this episode. No, it is this episode. That's what I mean, that's why. But back to the recap. Here's my recap of the Outnumbered 2024 Christmas special. I should mention that unlike Kevin and Stacey, it's not known if it's the final one. It might be, it might not be. I really hope it isn't. But we'll have to wait and see. Here is my recap of the Outnumbered 2024 Christmas special. We start off with the title sequence. Jane has been staying with Mum and Dad for 9 weeks. Mum says goodbye to Jane. Mum and Dad celebrate Jane leaving. Mum and Dad have moved house. Ben messages Mum to tell her about his delayed train. Ben reveals why his train has been delayed. Dad doubts him and Mum telling Ben, Jake and Karen something. Mum reassures him it is the right thing to do. A parcel is delivered for next door. Dad receives a message from his and Mum's next door neighbours about some building work. Dad mentions June. Jake arrives. Mum asks Jake about Rani and Zara. Dad helps Jake remember some words. Jake is an IT consultant. Jake regrets his job choice. Jake details what Zara is like. Mum makes a comparison between Zara and Ben. Jake and Dad give examples of this. Jake promises to be more Christmassy after his nap. Mum questions Jake not arriving with Rani and Zara. Mum thinks the worst. Jane walks in when Dad mentions having cancer. Jane comforts Dad. Jane gives Dad some advice. Jane leaves. Dad questions Jane's actions. Dad mentions Holly Willoughby. Karen arrives. Karen asks Mum and Dad about letting Jane stay with them for an extended period of time. Jane calls her colleagues useless. No, Karen calls her colleagues useless even. Mum mentions Karen using the exact same words with her previous employment. Karen reveals she and Lucy have split up. Karen is considering changing her name. Ben is now on a bus due to the delayed train. Dad gives Karen some name suggestions. Jake comes downstairs after his nap. Jake answers a call. Karen tells Mum and Dad who Jake is on the phone to. More parcels arrive. Dad mentions lockdown. Mum and Dad check on Jake. Jake reveals he and Rani are currently arguing all the time. Dad mentions sleep deprivation. Dad compares Jake and Rani to hostages. Mum corrects Jake on his understanding of Mum and Dad's argument frequency when he, Karen and Ben were little. Mum and Dad mention some of these arguments. Jake mentions Karen getting arrested. Mum yells at Jake and Karen. Mum apologises. Jake and Karen learn that Dad wants to tell them and Ben something together. Jane returns. Jane learns that Zach has multiple wives as well as 7 children. Mum and Dad list some of the actions the men Jane has dated have committed. Jake and Karen convinced to tell them what is going on. Dad reveals his prostate cancer diagnosis. Ben doesn't hear this. Dad attempts to tell Ben this multiple times. Ben introduces his taxi friends to Mum, Dad, Jake and Karen. Dad tells Jake and Karen about an upcoming operation. Karen helps Jake cut a call short with Rani. Dad insists he is fine. Dad reveals it is now 2 a.m. Mum tracks Ben to see where he is. Mum believes Ben is in multiple places, including somewhere in Belgium. Mum mentions Ben going on a gap year. Dad attempts to reassure Mum about this. Dad mentions Virgin Media. Ben arrives. Ben picks up Dad. Ben apologises. Jack and Ben reunite. Today is actually the 23rd of November. Ben makes himself some breakfast. Ben used all the eggs. Mum reminds Ben why they are celebrating Christmas today. Ben asks Mum if Dad is pretending he is okay when he isn't. Ben mentions Karen having to share a room with Jane. Dad uses his cancer as a way to make sure he has the first shower. Mum explains what today's menu is. Ben offers to help. Mum declines this. Mum falls over. Karen believes Mum is trying to distract herself. Ben mentions Karen's psychology podcast. Jake asks Ben and Karen to not look worried in front of Mum and Dad. Karen details her research on prostate cancer. Jake reminds her and about the conversation she and Ben have just had. Dad, Karen and Ben discuss Harry and Kane being on top of their Christmas tree. Mum purposely drops one of the neighbours' parcels. Dad realises this is one of their parcels. Dad rings next door about collecting their parcels. Ben offers to move the parcels. Dad tells Ben about a documentary. Ben has changed his plans due to Dad's prostate cancer diagnosis. Jake tells Mum and Dad that Rani and Zara aren't coming. Mum panics. Mum suggests that Dad should relax. Jane mentions her abandonment issues. Mum invites Jane to join everyone. Dad agrees to have a nap. Dad reminds Mum about the last oven catching fire after cooking Yorkshire puddings. Mum defends her decision to invite Jane. Karen believes this is the wrong decision. Ben offers to help Mum cook. Mum declines this. Rani and Zara arrive. Rani reveals that Zara currently believes she is a hyena. Mum updates Dad. Dad pretends to be a hyena. Rani is annoyed when she hears Jake is sleeping. Mum suggests Rani also have a nap. Rani hugs Mum. Dad demonstrates a wildebeest. Zara tells Dad about hyena Christmas crackers. Dad mentions arthritis. Dad begs to stop being a hyena. Zara repeatedly says no. Dad asks Ben about work. Dad is surprised when Ben mentions presenting a health and safety course. Ben offers to supervise Zara. Jane offers to leave. Mum is surprised at Jane's new skill of self-awareness. Mum is annoyed when she learns that Karen helped Jane see that leaving was for the best. Dad thanks Karen. The smoke alarm sounds. Ben tells Mum about next door going elsewhere. Mum gets annoyed at this. Mum refuses Karen and Ben's offers to help. Mum drops some food. Ben apologises. Dad and Jake reassure Mum that everything is fine. Dad throws the neighbours' parcels over the fence. Everyone else discusses Dad being so calm despite his cancer diagnosis. Everyone discovers what Dad is doing. Everyone else helps Dad throw a parcel over the fence. Everyone runs back inside. Jake takes Zara inside. Everyone plays Who Am I? Everyone gives each other their secret Santa presents. Everyone has bought presents for Ben. Ben realises he didn't organise the secret Santa correctly. Dad answers a message from next door about the parcels. Ben reconsiders his life choices and chooses to go on his Andes trip on the condition that Mum and Dad let him stay at theirs when he goes home. Rani and Jake would Zara also needs somewhere to stay due to their landlord wanting to move back in. Jake and Rani were pranking Mum and Dad. Jake and Rani kiss. Jake expresses love for Rani. Everyone toasts to Rani. Jake calls Karen an interfering cow. Dad proposes a toast to everyday life. Jake, Ben and Karen get annoyed at this toast. Zara and Rani mention Jurassic Park. Dad does a dinosaur impression, as does Mum and Ben, and Zara bites someone. That is my recap of the Outnumbered 2024 Christmas special. Now, on tomorrow's episode, I will be recapping. What am I recapping tomorrow? Another episode of What If. It is the What If Season 3 trailer.
For an adventure?
Always.
To understand, you must learn to see.
What exactly are you proposing?
It's showtime.
Here we go!
Hello, are you sure you can fly this?
Are you kidding? I'm a duck. I was born to fly. Strap in.
Move over.
If we all go down, the world will be left defenseless. This is the shot we have. We may not get another one. Let's finish it.
Oh, we're good to go.
Avenger, assemble.
Line them up now!
This is where your story ends. With some mysteries, the only answer is what if.
Maybe it's time that we called in some help?
That was the trailer for What If Season 3, which you'll only hear, I think, another twice. Yeah, and that's if you've watched all of the episodes before the What If episodes. So yeah, I'll be covering What If Season 3 Episode 6. That means I got the wrong in the previous episode, never mind. Title What If 1872. Tomorrow's episode, back to this episode even. Let me know what you thought of the Outnumbered 2024 Christmas special if you watched it. My review, if you didn't, you can put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below, as well with anything else you want me to cover on the channel, such as any previews or recaps. Put those in the comments below as well. And remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe. And that's it for this episode of the Everything Podcast. Goodbye.